G'day everyone, you probably know me as Scotty from obviously GP Hydro live streaming. Well, I've been asked to do a TV show, let's give it a go.
Pushing in the displacement boat, chasing for Australia, Grant Harrison. Ladies and gentlemen, GP1 winner of the 2026 E.C Griffith Cup, number 10. It doesn't get much bigger than that. G'day and welcome to the first episode of The Final Lap. In this episode, we're headed to the twin towns of Yarrawonga Mulwala on the Victorian-New South Wales border for the running of the E.C Griffith Cup. In this show, we'll talk a little bit about the Les Spears Memorial for Unlimited Displacement,
Johnson, the Anzac,
James Sayer Anzac Trophy.
This is unbelievable stuff, boys. P1 and GP 577, far away from the rest of the world. Get it down, son.
And of course, the E.C Griffith Cup. And we'll also chat with Grant Harrison. But it's not all about Ken Lupton and Grant Harrison. There's plenty of other hard-charging competitors with quality equipment prepared to rain on their parade. Other race classes at the weekend saw the Formula Futures for the junior competitors who are the future of our sport. The Ozlite hydroplanes. These small hydroplanes have been powered by 1.6 litre Toyota 4AGE engines for many years. However, this platform is now aging and becoming harder to find and more expensive to build. The category is testing the Mazda-based 2 litre engine to continue this competitive class into the future. The F4 tunnels, like their big brothers the Formula tunnels or the Formula 1 tunnels, are a catamaran style hull design with two sponsons which create a tunnel effect down the centre of the hull which traps air and compresses it, creating a cushion of air for which these boats ride on, reducing drag and improving outright speed. The F4 tunnels are shorter and have less horsepower than their big brothers, utilising the Mercury 4-stroke 60 horsepower platform which produces close, reliable and competitive racing. Stepping up from the F4 tunnels are the GP tunnels. As mentioned earlier, they're the same basic hull design principle, but a larger craft with more horsepower. Utilising either the Mercury 2.5 litre 2-stroke platform or the new 4.6 litre V8 4-stroke platform, these boats are seriously fast. But the most impressive thing about these boats is the G-forces they experience in the corners, not that dissimilar to that of a jet fighter pilot. The 105 mile an hour class, as the name suggests, is a speed limited class, and as such, open deck boats are eligible to run alongside their safety cockpitted cousins. Exciting racing is guaranteed with close deck to deck action due to the 105 mile an hour or 169 km an hour speed limitation of the class. 6 litre hydroplanes are also competing this weekend, and as the name suggests, a 6 litre engine, normally a V8, powering a hydroplane design which consists of two forward planing hulls known as sponsons, trapping the air in the same way that a tunnel boat does to create a cushion of air, creating less friction and more speed. 6 litre hydroplanes provide spectacular racing and in the right conditions can take the fight right up to the bigger and more powerful GP hydroplanes. So that gives you an idea of the craft that we have entered this weekend. Les Spears was sadly lost at Lake Mulwala in 1978. Since then, the Les Spears Memorial has been contested in his memory. This is a prestigious and timeless trophy that all displacement drivers dream about having their name engraved upon. Let's go have a look at some of the heats and the final.
Play it on Titan and Cut Cat Racing.
Titan's a no-go. Titan didn't start.
Go goes to Cool. We are away. Lay it on. Have a look. Tate Ramsey gets a bit of a set there over the Supernova as they come down into turn number 1. They brought him down a long way, Lumpy.
Yeah, they did indeed. I've been noticing that of late today.
handling of the boat. It's a new engine. Oh, he has a wild ride down the bottom there. Boat flew through the air sideways. He manages to gather it back together. Yellow flag out now. Tate Ramsey. It's just not as settled as Odin is it?
No, it's definitely not. It is slightly better from Friday and yesterday, but there still seems to be playing up. I wonder if, like we were saying earlier, it is the engine combo, so like Tate said, but the power curve or something's just coming on different.
Yep. Scotty Cleaver pushing hard. He's getting a lot of competition there from Stephen Rumble in the Cut Cat as the Supernova's still got that little 6-litre boat all over his transom. Checkered flag comes out. It's going to be a comfortable win for Tate Ramsey, but the boat's still not looking as settled as what we'd hope it would be. He gets the power into it. Lay it on, Tate. Number 1 of the Les Spears Memorial for 2026. Pretty impressed with Steve Rumble to be that close to a twin turbo boat.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't he driving great? Like, you watch him come through this bottom turn, boy, between the two pins. Last lap around, he actually slid it like a tunnel boat. And yeah, hats off to him. Great.
Scotty Cleaver picks up second place in the Supernova. Good run there from him.
Here we go, Bisho. Flags down.
Go.
Turbo versus turbo. The Odin battleship. Here comes
Look at
turn
Patterson. Oh my goodness, he dives in hard. I'll tell you what though, Constable does a great job to hold him off. Now they come down the front, shoot Patterson. He makes a little bit of a mess of the exit, loses it.
Great battleship. I tell you what, the boys have put some time and R&D into this, Bisho, and it's starting to show up.
This is a terrific battle too, JMO, going on down through the bridge end turn here between Pasala and Patterson. And Pasala getting the power down better than Patterson there. Patterson struggling as they both pick up the yellow flag. Pato drops into Pasala's wash. This will be as good as a win for Pasala.
Lumpy and I just shaking our heads.
It's a rocket ship. 5-10, nearly a lap up on the other two boats. This is phenomenal. Ryan Constable Brothers Racing, Odin 5-10 wins heat number 2 of the Les Spears Memorial for 2026.
The battle out the back still going between the Bumblebee and the Twin
Look at
Turbo.
Patterson up the inside like a rat up a drain pipe as he goes round. Great drive there from Connor, and that's his strength, his corner speed, his entry speed. Pasala nearly got him there, but Pato going to get the job done for second place. And a great drive there from Dennis Pasala. 2026, the flag drops to you. We're racing, and Tate Ramsey gets an absolute cracker. Odin on the inside. Have a look at Patterson diving hard down into the corner.
Oh no, Odin's come to a stop.
Odin's got a problem. Ramsey gets the set as he comes out. And what a shame there for Odin. I wonder whether that'll cause a flag at all, because he's right in the middle of the corner on the exit there. But at the moment,
he's in a bad situation there.
I'll tell you what, how hard did Scotty Patterson go down in the turn?
Yeah, absolutely, Bisho. And I'll tell you what, Odin's got running again. That's going to cause waves and problems for Tate Ramsey. But I'll tell you what, check out the battle for second, the two yellow boats. It's actually Connor driving because Scotty's down the front.
Oh, couple of big hits. Watch. Right, so we got Connor Patterson. He dove so hard into that turn. It's unbelievable. Dennis Pasala doing an amazing job in the always pumping machine, Scotty Cleaver, and then back to Cut Cat Racing. And a good job there from Connor, from Brian Constable to pull his boat off the track.
Yeah, absolutely, Bisho. And the man, like where he's normally been, he's been up at the front. He's doing a fantastic job coming around to face the yellow. It's Tate Ramsey, and Laydon's really standing that boat up on its tail, going to bring it round. 1 lap to go. Got Connor Patterson coming around to face the yellow, the beautiful little 18-foot Evercraft. Small block really starting to turn some fast laps.
Tell you what, Tate Ramsey's boat is breathing a little bit too, mate, as it came past. I could see a little bit of smoke coming out of that. Yellow flag, 1 to go for him.
That's right, Tate Ramsey's going down the back straight in the lay-it-on machine. That boat is still not behaving as well as it probably should be, Bisho, but it's getting the job done. It's going to come round. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, bringing it home in first place for the Les Spear 2026. Tate Ramsey and Laydon.
Tate Ramsey takes the Les Spears for 2026. Connor Patterson absolutely driving the fins off the Turn It Up machine, comes through for a solid second place. And a great drive here from this fella, the cheeky chap himself. It is Dennis Pasala in the always pumping concrete machine. Third place, he'll be absolutely ecstatic with that. Scotty Cleaver, a great drive in the Supernova. Comes through for 4th place in the Les Spears for 2026, and a great drive in the little 6-litre boat. It is Stevie the Cat Rumble. Comes through and completes the course and does a great job, the only naturally aspirated boat in the field.
Here with Tate Ramsey, the driver of Lay It On. We just seen you out there in the Les Spears final. You led Odin into the first corner, and then unfortunately he's broken down, but in the end you finished out on top. You got the Les Spears again. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, really stoked with that. Yeah, we had a bit of hard work to do this morning, and we had a pretty solid heat run, and yeah, coming into that Les Spears final, we qualified second quick. Ryan had a really good heat in Odin, and yeah, he was on pole. We knew we had to nail the start to be any chance, and yeah, got a good start and good first corner, and got out of the corner pretty well, and fully expecting to see Ryan on my left-hand side there, but he pulled it up at the corner apparently. So I'm not sure what brought him undone, but yeah, was looking forward to doing sort of 3 laps with Ryan. He's a great operator, and yeah, I think we sort of probably raced fairly similarly. So yeah, it would have been good to watch, and obviously we had good company. We had Turn It Up and those guys. So yeah, hopefully it was a good race to watch, and it was certainly a great race to drive in.
Got Ryan Constable with the Odin race boat. Unfortunately, we saw you pull out in the first corner of the Les Spears final. What ended up happening, Ryan?
Yeah, a bit of a shame, mate. Just nothing hurt. The engine stalled. Probably more driver error than anything else. Yeah, just yeah, came in there with Tate and just got out of it just a bit hard, pinned it into the boys. So yeah, we'll have a chat to the engine tuner and see if we can do a bit more tuning down low there so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, it's really disappointing in the heats that you did this morning, and that boat is really getting on top of it. It's really fast.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame going into the final. Yeah, we obviously had the fastest heat time. But anyway, is what it is, mate. We've got a A-main win in the NDC, so we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, you've got to be pretty proud of that. Well done, and hopefully see you next time.
Yeah, no worries, mate. See you at Dargle.
The James Sayer Anzac Trophy was handmade by John Ruth of the Victorian Speedboat Club, and it's made from the timbers of the old Reedsdale Bridge prior to becoming the Victorian Speedboat Club's boat ramp in 1962. The pine cones are from a first-generation tree found at Gallipoli. These trees were removed by the Turkish soldiers to cover their trenches, except for one tree. This tree was used for target practice and is also where the pine cones came from that are mounted on the official trophy. The silver boat on top of the trophy was crafted by James Sayer himself and is a direct copy of his own hydro. This was the first boat to achieve 60 mile an hour at the Victorian Speedboat Club's Albert Park Lake course in the heart of Melbourne. Let's have a look at the heats and final.
We're racing in the Anzac for 2026 heat number 1. Harrison and Clark go out at Zalia on pole, and we fire down into turn number 1 for the first time. Let's keep an eye on this one. Zalia just not the pace to go with him. He can run that tight line, but he hasn't got a lot of room to play with. Gator does a good job there in pole 2, but Harrison now charging hard. Look at Benny Clark. He is absolutely on fire as he goes down into turn number 2 for the first time. Jamie Butler joining me in commentary. This is absolutely on between these two boats, and both of them former Harrison boats.
Yeah, absolutely, Bisho. I tell you what a big drive from Benny.
Crackers, the yellow flag comes out. 1 to go now for Harrow. He wants to put this boat in the final and he wants to win this cup. Harrison now, GP1, sets off on his final lap. Benny Clark, that's the ground that he lost in that half a spin, which was quite a bit, but the boat's still up and about. Hopefully he can, Pete Zalia is like an offshore boat down the back. I don't know whether you saw, but the boat flew through the air. Unbelievable
These
stuff.
hydros, mate, leave big holes, mate. But I tell you what, the man of the moment is Grant Harrison coming around the final turn, the final race for 2026, the GP Anzac Griffith Cup.
Okay, here we go. Boat GP1 takes the win in heat number 1 of the Anzac Cup for 2026. Benny Clark still pushing hard, trying to set fast lap time here. And Clark in the GP 101 comes through and gets the job done as well. Great drive from him. Just one little mistake, seeing him back down the field a little bit, but great effort. Pete Zalia in the Crazy Duck. He's working very hard, but he's managed to stay in front of Kelvin McCann. McCann has gone round. McCann has had a big flat spin. He's bit and gone around. And he's actually over. Oh, no, he's not. Sorry. Mercury power on that start boat as we bring them around. This is heat number 2 of the James Sayer Anzac Day Trophy. Heat number 2, brought to you by Babcon Plan Hire. Lupton, Kruzik, all 4 up into turn number 1. Let's watch them as they come through. This will get tight. AMS on the inside, a good run there for the little 6-litre hydro. Down the back chute we go, and Lupton, as we expect, leans on it hard. They've got the big engine in the boat for this one, and they just want to get through the heat because they want to put this boat in the final. Kenny Lupton, the Lucas Oil, GP577 out in front by a long way. Dan Krunig, 6-litre hydro. Down the back chute we go, and Lupton, as we expect, leans on it hard. They've got the big engine in the boat for this one, and they just want to get through the heat because they want to put this boat in the final. Kenny Lupton, the Lucas Oil, GP577 out in front by a long way. Dan Krunig in the second. The GP21. We've got a boat stop down the bottom, that's the AMS. Connection goes through up into 3rd place. But unfortunately, the AMS machine, I think, had a little bit of a hook up down in the bottom turn, I'm not sure. So Kobe Howard has to get back up and going again. Yellow flag comes out though for race leader Ken Lupton out of New Zealand. The Lucas Oils GP577. The Crusader, Dan Kruzik doing a beautiful job in that boat. GP21, the Benson race engine sounding absolutely dynamic in that boat.
Mr. Harrison, driver of GP1, we've just seen you out there in the qualifier for the Anzac Cup. How'd the boat feel?
Yeah, no, it felt good. Water conditions today are a bit better than yesterday and certainly a lot better than Friday, but no, boat's handling well, feeling good. I don't want to jinx myself because that's what a lot of guys say before something goes wrong, so at the moment we're smiling, and yeah, we're just waiting on the Anzac Cup final and see what happens then. 3 more laps.
Now the poles are a little bit different to what we would have expected. We saw you out there, you had a pretty good time, but you're not in pole 1. We've got the tunnel boat on the inside of you at the moment.
Yeah.
Is that going to worry you at all?
No, I don't think so. Look, and that's probably smart from the organisers, I guess, to put the guy in there to have a run. We're not going to go pin to pin to pin, and happy to do that. That's no drama. He's not going to let any wash. And our mate Kenny Lupton on the outside, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, keep the Kiwis on the outside of us.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, it's a fast boat. You guys all know that. And on the outside, he's going to be working hard, and he's going to make me work hard on the inside. And we can't forget Benny Clark in 101. Like shit, he was really, really quick there, but I think he just backed off to just make the final. So a lot of these guys have been foxy in the heats, and we'll wait and see what happens in the final.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, well, good luck in the Anzac Cup, and hopefully come back and see you again.
I hope so too. Thank you.
Did I hear duck in 1? Crazy duck in 1?
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking though. I don't know if I can see it. It might still be parked in the back of Pete's ute.
No, it's here. It's on the inside.
It is
pole
there.
1.
Okay, yep. Can't pick it up in the sun glare at the moment. Oh, yep, there it is. Here we go. White flag up, Mikey Johnson. The Anzac Cup. The James Sayer Anzac Day Trophy for Babcock Hire. Here we go. Right as they fire up into the top turn. Let's keep an eye on the drone footage here as they go in. It looks clean, it looks tight, and it's the 2 big bangers, GP1 and GP577, far away from the rest of the boat. Get it down, son! Good God! These boys are hard.
Oh, Harrison!
He's
had a bit of a trip up.
They go again! Up as well.
They're not in for a haircut. They're not mucking around either. That's amazing. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, back down the back straightaway. Harrow's had a big moment on the lap before, did a huge wheel stand, but I tell you what, at the moment, it's all the Kiwis. Harrow's not going to give anything away at the moment. He's going to throw everything at him, coming round to face the final lap. Yellow flag is out. Arrow slows down a little bit, going very, very wide.
Yellow flag, 1 lap to go now. Harrison trying to go with him. Harrison, what a big moment. He's trying to make up ground. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to get in over the top of the Kiwi champion here. Stand up, you know, Harrow. Harrow's down another hook. Bravo for Harrow. But it's all Kenny Lupton. It's all Kenny Lupton. Down through the final turn. Stand up, New Zealand. The Lucas Oils GP577. Get Lupton Racing. Wins the Anzac Cup for 2026. Grant Harrison, GP1, 2nd place. Into 3rd place, a hard-charging Benny Clark in the GP101. Crusader, Dan Cruisick. I don't even know where Crazy Duck's gone. There he is, he's down the back. GP21 comes through. For 4th place. And Pete Zali, a big round of applause because that's wild in that little tunnel boat out there. Comes through for 5th place. Oh boys, I need to lie down.
I think it's time for a couple of barley smoothies, and I mean a beer, boys. What do you reckon? How good was that first two laps? The big wheel stand to Harrow down the back straight at probably 160 plus mile an hour, and he didn't back off. He just granaded it in.
I thought that was gone.
Yeah, I thought it was gone. And then Kenny Lupton, the New Zealander, did it on the front straight on the way back.
On the way back down.
They were both having a go.
Here he comes now for a bit of a flyby. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the Flying Kiwi.
Ken Lupton for Lucas Oils.
Doing the chucker on the outside.
Fantastic stuff. Stand up, you Kiwis. Where's Rolf? Where are you, son? The first race for the Australasian Championship and Silver Championship Shield, presented by Mr. Ernest Charles Griffith, was held in 1909 and 1910 and was won by Mr. A. Davies in his craft, Fairbanks. During the 1912-1913 season, Mr. Griffith presented a Silver Cup for the Australasian Championship, which was known as the Griffith Australian Championship Cup, or as many of us know it, the E.C Griffith Cup, or simply the Holy Grail. The Victorian Speedboat Club have raced at Yarrawonga for the Griffith Cup predominantly since 2016, when the Kiwis were last over for an attempt to return the cup back across the ditch. The Griffith Cup was run twice within 6 months that year, first one in May by Troy Marlin out of Brisbane, Queensland, driving the Burton-owned Warlord. Later in the same year, in November, Grant Harrison out of Melbourne, driving the Keith Harrison-owned GP1, took victory. This was the third time in the Cup's history that it was run so close together.
Can't see Palmer, Sammy. Let's call it as we see it, son, because we haven't got long to go now. Before he's on the outside, Palmer on the outside, Sammy. Here we go. Racing, well, hey, Sammy Smith. There's Dave Alexander and the Steeler trying to hold on. White Lupton in the mix as well. Marlin's got all sorts of... And gentlemen, stand up. Wave your hats and programs. Australia claims the 2016-2017 E.C Griffith Cup for the Mulwala Water Ski Club. Grant Harrison, GP1. He is ecstatic, Sammy.
Now for the Griffith Cup, the holy grail of the sport. Let's go and have a look at what happened.
So eyes on the water, heat 1 of the Griffith Cup. As you'll see, they'll bring him down around the bridge end barn dog start boat. Got a displacement boat, a GP hydroplane and a 5-litre hydroplane. White flag down. Taking it around up on the top turn. I'll hand it over to you, Bisho.
And we're away. Heat 1 E.C Griffith Cup as we tip it in the GP 101. Benny Clark goes in hard. The Titan will run hard on the pins. Sadly's going to have to try and run a tight line here. But at the moment, it is the GP 101 in fine form down the back chute. Taking it outside the AMR and the Titan having a good little battle. As we go down through the bridge end turn. No, he's got one to go. He's in the GP 101 for heat number 1 of the E.C Griffith Cup for 2026 as he tips it into the port turn at the top end of this beautiful Yarrawonga course. 101, Ben Clark now charges hard down the back chute as the other two boats in the field almost being lapped now. Clark down the back straight away. AMR into second place. Titan into third place. As AMR sets off on his final lap. Titan will come through the start-finish area as GP 101. Eddie Clark takes the win in heat number 1 of the E.C Griffith Cup. But that boat not sounding as strong as what we would hope. And he's got some big competition coming his way, so I'm not sure that that's going to be enough. They're going to need to get some more tune into that particular craft. Down the back straight away, the AMR now with Brendan Anderson behind the wheel. He's going to come through and pick up second place. So Brendan Anderson comes through second place for him in the AMR. Little 6-litre hydroplane. And Dave Sadley in the blown displacement boat, unfortunately. Just not enough boat length to get that job done. These hydros start showing a bit of water up. And I'm not sure how that's going to go for him. We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, because we're about to send heat number 2 of the E.C Griffith Cup for 2025 away. The white flag flies high on the Barn Dog Stark boat. Mikey Johnson drops the flag. Well, racing in heat number 2, the E.C Griffith Cup. And Kenny Lupton gets the start, and they fire up into turn number 1 for the first time.
Oh, Tate really struggling to get the boat settled around that top turn buoy there, Bisho. But check out the New Zealander, the 577 of Ken Lupton. Holy doolies, look at Tate Ramsey accelerate there.
Wowee, Tate Ramsey's got every bit as much pace in a straight line as that GP 577. But once the water gets rough, I think he's going to start to run into a little bit of trouble at the moment. Tate Ramsey right up the inside there and doing an amazing job. Ken Lupton, the problem there. Can't believe how hard Tate Ramsey's pushing in the displacement boat, chasing down the HRL World Champion Kenny Lupton in that beautiful GP 577 machine as he goes down in the bottom turn. Don't worry about Tate Ramsey, he's still there, boys.
He's not going anywhere in a hurry, I can tell you, but it's all Ken Lupton at this stage taking the yellow flag for a final, but Tate Ramsey in that laid-on machine, it's all out of the water, is doing a lot of things wrong, but he's still pointed in the right direction.
Yellow flag now, 1 to go now. Crusaders still with the drama, going up the front straight away, but still going very quickly. Ramsey now starting to succumb to the rougher water now as Lupton pushes it down the back straight away into the bridge end turn for the final time. Kenny Lupton in the GP 577. The gator runs wide, but it's going to be Ken Lupton in the GP 577 winning his heat of the E.C Griffith Cup for 2026. Going around the outside, rounding out the field. Tate Ramsey, what a drive from Tate Ramsey and some desperately dirty water. And Dan Kruzik up into 3rd place in the Crusader. Well, I tell you what, boys, we expected that from Ken Lupton, but I tell you what, Tate Ramsey, what a drive.
I tell you what, he's not afraid, is he? He just drove the you-know-what off that. And like you were saying earlier, that boat seems to be lifting up that left side a little bit, which might not feel as bad in the cockpit, but I tell you what, doesn't look very nice out here, does it?
I think he's just pulling up next to him to give him a bit of a wave. Call that foreign relations.
E26 E.C Griffith Cup, heat number 3.
Mind you, it's going now.
Howard's up and going. He might run the line here. This could be big. Let's see what happens. White flag flying high. We're about to see a start. Flag Josser racing. Howard the boat swirls around a little bit. Howard now finds some pace as he gets going. And they go up into turn number 1. Pasala on pole. We've got the Impatient Machine out of 2, and then GP1 firing down the back straight. This is what, well, look at Pasala coming at him. Harrison has to back out of the throttle just a little bit there as the boat does a big sponson walk. The Cheeky Chaps Racing always pumping concrete. Yellow flag comes out for Grant Harrison down the GP1. He fires it down the front straight away, and he knows. Can he put number 10 in the bag? That's the question. Pasala looks like he's come off the pace a little bit down the back straight away. Maybe some drama there for him, but we're focusing in on the GP1 now down the back straight away. Vela doing a fantastic job up into 2nd place at the moment. Oh, Harrison Almost blows it over backwards down the back straight away. He tips it into the port turn. Harrison's having a go here. He needs to do fast time. Checkered flag comes out. Grant Harrison, GP1, wins a heat number 3 of the E.C Griffith Cup. So, I'll tell you something for free, boys. Grant Harrison hasn't had to push like that for a long time. He knows the competition's here.
Yep.
He knows he has to push, and that's the hardest I've seen Harrow drive in quite some time.
Yeah,
100%.
I was really, really impressed with that. In fact, when it came off the line, I got a bit of a tail shimmy up to it, and then before it took off, so that means he's just absolutely buried it.
Fella comes through for second place, and Pasala just coming down through the bridge end turn, and he'll come through and pick up third place. Pretty impressed with the pace out of that boat early.
That was very fast.
Always gets hard from in this rough water though, J-Mo. Will they let them go? Let's assume that they will, boys. Here we go. White flag flying high. Look at on the far outside. That's Anderson. He wants to run at it. Go, go, go. We're going to the 2026 E.C Griffith Cup. They fire out into turn number 1. This is it, boys. It is on. Up into turn number 1. We got 2 boats stopped on the back straight away. I hope they're not in the way. Harrison goes around the inside. Lupton down the outside.
GP 101 stop.
They are on.
Oh!
Lupton nearly blows it over. Down into turn number 2. Harrison hard on the pins. Harrison will run out wide. Grant Harrison chasing win number 10. Ken Lupton wants to take this home. This is a race of 2 at the moment, boys. The 2 big boys going at it, hammer and tong. Lupton on the outside.
I tell you what, Bisho, it's not over till the fat lady sings. There's not very often you're going to see 2 GP hydroplanes in Australia, the 2 best in the world. Nobody's giving up.
Harrow pushing hard on the inside. Lupton not giving an inch. This is unbelievable stuff, boys. I tell you what, the goosebumps are up. Harrison gets a little break on Lupton now. As they fire up the front shutter. There's smoke. There's smoke.
There's smoke.
It's boats. It's Lupton. Lupton is out. Lupton's on fire. It is over for the Kiwis. Lupton pulls up. Benny Clark into second place. Harrison, can he take number 10, Lumpy?
He will take number 10.
Oh,
He'll come around now.
Yellow flag. Harrow needs to bring it home. He's starting to lap boats now. Ken Lupton, a big fire. Harrison, 1 to go to get number 10. Go, you good thing, up into the top turn. Grant Harrison, he has tried for years to try and put number 10 in the back, and he's half a lap away, ladies and gentlemen. Ben Clark into second place in the 101. Harrison, 1 corner to go. Ladies and gentlemen, stand up, wave your hands and programs for Australia. Grant Harrison, GP1 wins number 10, 2026 E.C Griffith Cup. I'm going to have a lie down.
You need a Bex and a lie down, do you?
Yeah. Third place.
Anderson Motorsports.
And Benny Clark into second place, ladies and gentlemen, the GP 101. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Harrison, please put your hands together. Wave your hands and programs as he comes round. Harrow, number 10, E.C Griffith Cup. And what a race. Condolences, Ken Lupton was pushing him all the way.
That was neck and neck for the first 2 laps, and then all of a sudden we saw smoke.
Oh, Kenny Lupton will be devastated. The Kiwis will be devastated. Anderson Motorsports, third place in the Griffith Cup. You've got to be
happy with that.
Harrow don't want to stop. Harrow don't want to stop. He's just going to keep driving that boat till it runs out of fuel. Keep it up for him. Red flags are out now. Grant Harrison, he'll be in tears in that cockpit, I reckon, boys.
Number 10, Bisho.
Number 10, he's been chasing it so long, J-Mo.
I reckon he done that extra lap and said, Keithy boy, Dad, that one's for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon you're right, mate.
He'd definitely be a bit emotional right now.
As will a lot of people, a lot of Australians. The E.C Griffith Cup stays in Australia. I'll see you boys back here next year.
I tell you what, that's probably one of the best and fastest racings I've ever seen. Unfortunately, it only lasted for 2 laps. Imagine if it went to the 3 or 4, however many the Griffith Cup is. I tell you what, I still wouldn't know who won if both boats kept going.
Yeah, look, Harrow did have a good break on Ken. He was probably 3 or 4 boat links. But you just don't know.
But that's what happened. He they were neck and neck, and then he took out, like, he made about 3 boat lengths on him, and then all the smoke came out of it. So it obviously showed signs before it let go.
What a shame for Kenny Lupton, but hey, that's what it's all about, boys. Harrow's been in the same position many times.
Many times. I've seen Harrow break a propeller blade here on a Friday and didn't race Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Just tore too much gear apart.
Yeah, they did. They broke propeller shafts, and the whole boat was too much of a mess to put back together. But the GP1 team, Big Terror, he'll be going off down there in the pits. Please give it up for Harrow, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes past. He can hear you, he can see you now. He probably can't hear you, to be fair. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Wave your hands for Harrow. UBLD, number 10.
That's cool.
Number 10, Griffith Cup for GP1. G'day and welcome to the final lap. And today we're down here in Melton, an outer suburb of Melbourne, at one of the most iconic Toyota dealerships in Australia. It is owned by the Harrison family, started by Keithy Harrison and now run by his son Grant. 10-time winner of the E.C Griffith Cup. We thought we'd come down and have a chat to him about that iconic moment. G'day, Harrow.
Bisho, what are you doing here?
Mate, I just thought I'd drop by. How are you, brother?
Shit, mate. Welcome to Melton Toyota.
Thanks very much, mate. The joint looks fantastic. You've done a beautiful job.
Yeah, no, good day today weather-wise, and yeah, I've got a really good crew here at Melton Toyota that run the place for us, and yeah, I still come to work sometimes, play boats sometimes, and have lots of holidays. So no, life is good, mate.
You've worked hard. You've got this beautiful dealership. Get down and buy a Toyota, I reckon, if you're in the area for sure,
please
mate.
do. Yeah.
That's not so bad, just sitting on your bench there.
Yeah, no, it's something we've had in here before, but we missed it for a few years, and a couple of years of not winning, but it's back again, and yeah, very proud and very lucky to have it.
Mate, E.C Griffith Cup, number 10. I've followed you on the journey, mate, and you're not just in the years between winning your 9th and winning your 10th, which was a few, but even long before that with your dad and yourself trying to snag that number 10. It wasn't easy, mate, and it wasn't easy this year either, was it?
Yeah, look, we've had some Griffith Cups where it's been relatively easy, lack of competition. We've had other Griffith Cups with Kiwis and other fast boats that have been really hard.
Up in the top corner, Sammy.
So you have your easy ones, you have your hard ones, and we've been leading some really hard races, and last lap a blower belt breaks or a propeller falls off.
Stuck.
You think you're home and you're not.
Ricky Howard now.
You've got to be in it to win it, I think, and we've been in it for a long time now, and that's probably how they've racked up. It hasn't been like 10 in a row, and there's been no competition.
Yeah.
We've been committed for a long time, and yeah, been very lucky to have a good crew around me to be able to get to that level of 10. I'm only the driver, and you need a good crew.
Well, why don't we head down the boat shop? I reckon the boys will be down there.
Well, I do. The crew are down there, so I'm up here just playing computers and just doing off a few bills and emails. So, yeah, I think we've got Terra PC down there today. I think Coco, he sort of lives here, so he's here. So, yeah, let's go see the boys.
I've come at the right time. Let's do that.
All right, let's go.
Cheers. Mate, this is like heaven in here.
You haven't been here before?
Not here. No, I went to your old boat shop. But,
not
this one. This is all, look, you've got bits of Spellbound up there, 101.
Yeah.
The Wizard, or what's the...
Yeah, no, that's
Spellbound as well.
Spellbound sponsor. That was from Geelong, and that was a spare 101 cowling that we had. But yeah, this is 3 years old now. We had the old factory up at Burton Cables, the old Burton Cables.
Yeah, yep.
Boys, coming in on a Saturday morning and have a bit of a play around and help out. And yeah, it's purpose-built race boat shed, got the crane.
This is cool, yeah.
Oh, well, we can just lift the boats off so easily here now. We're just blessed. Engines in and out. Troy, who works on the boats, he can do that by himself.
Yeah.
Tara and PC do all the stuff on the little boats. They sort of look on the little boat, and my daughter here is late, and the boys are doing some stuff and maintenance for the next season on the big boat. So we do Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings sometimes. It just happens to be you've come in on the right day and the boys have turned up for a change to work on the boats.
Work on the boats.
Well, I'm in the office. I'm in the office doing nothing.
I know, that's why I dragged you down here.
Yeah,
So
I'm coming down here shortly anyhow.
So this is about working on the boats and fixing the boats, but it's about the mental health as well, right?
It is about the mental health. Afterwards we'll have a barbecue, probably a few beers and stuff like that, but no beers in here while guys are working on boats, and it is still only early in the morning.
Yeah, sun's over the yard arm somewhere.
Yeah, but no, look, the little boat there is really pretty much ready to run. No issues with that at all. The big boat, we're just doing maintenance. We just put a new wiring loom in it. The whole loom was probably 10 years old. It's the engine management loom.
Really? Yeah, okay.
So before something breaks, before a wire frays, and things were showing signs of breaking, so we thought, you know what, let's just get a whole new loom put in the thing, and that's what the boys are probably mucking around doing now.
So, Lake, I've caught you.
You have.
You're building a model one of these for school.
I am, well, one of them, but
one of them.
Yeah, close enough.
That's pretty cool. So you obviously love it, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So you've grown up around these things and these boats and these people since you're a tiny little tacker. Have you always wanted to have a go?
Honestly, no. Like, I've always loved them. I've always come to the races with Dad. I don't remember ever being like, no, Dad, I don't want to come to the races. Always, if I was free, I was going to go to the races, right? Yeah. But only lately, like 15 and a half, maybe a little bit earlier. But as I've gotten older, right, I go, actually, Dad, this is pretty.
In the Cup's history, it has been won by an Australian team 75 times and by a New Zealand contender 27 times. This goes to show the rivalry for this trophy is fierce.
It was like after the race, I was like, right, Dad, water's pretty calm, let's do this. So I put on his race suit, sail suit, wore his helmet, jumped in the boat and had a little pedal. That was obviously with the old gearbox, that 23, which was revving pretty high, so I couldn't go as hard as I wanted to, because that was when Dad had his 10,500. He was like, oh, let's not do that again, but it went pretty fast.
10,500 RPM's quite a bit out of one of these
Especially in that little thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of metal spinning around really fast. It all tries to get out eventually.
Yep.
So what did it feel like?
Well, it sounds kind of weird, but the attitude, like the closer you are to the water, it's kind of like driving a sports car a little bit, right? I've driven an automatic 86 from dealership one time and I was like, oh, this is pretty similar. But you're not planted to the water. You're kind of like, obviously you're skimming across it. And when you turn, it kind of wants to hook up and you get real tight and close and you get pushed to the side of the seat, obviously, everyone says that, but it is real, right? And even when you're going not so fast, like I was probably only doing 100 Ks over the water or whatever, so
it's still cracking along all right. Someone that's first got into one, and it's interesting you talk about the G-forces, because everyone talks about G-forces, but there's still something I reckon that shock you when you actually feel them for the first time. Were you confident in cornering the boat? Did you know you could, like in these things, you can really turn them in hard. But I imagine that's something you work your way up to.
That's what Dad says. He says, oh, I can drive it like a go-kart, but you just drive to your limit, and every lap I was just pushing hard. I reckon I did about 6 or 7 laps, something like that, and it was good. I started sweating actually, and I was like, Dad, the sweat's mixing with the sunscreen. It's stinging my eyes.
Yes,
I think we'd better go back.
I've been there, your helmet and it all drips down, and that's the problem with living in Australia. Always got sunblock on, haven't you? That's really cool. So you thought to yourself, well, this is a bit of me, like you'd like to do it and have a race. So you had a go at Lake Charm.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to remember, it was a little while ago and I'm pretty old.
It was just the once. We were going to have a go at the Griffith Cup, and then he went and broke the engine on the first or the second race or whatever, and I was like, oh, well, there goes that. But out of all the engines to break, I guess we'd rather break that one that day.
True, out of all the engines to break in here, you'd think that'd be the one least likely to break as well. But,
that too, but
that's the way motorsport goes. So what's the plan for this year? You're keen to go and do the series, or?
Well, Dad and I were kind of thinking about sharing the driving, right? Because because obviously the one on the front of that boat looks pretty good, doesn't it? So I was like, Dad, I reckon you can drive all the championship races, Vic Championship, Oz Championship, and I'll just do the club races, right? And maybe after I've done a few club races, get off probation, we'll see how I go. If I start winning some races, we'll go into the club series championships, whatever. But I guess we'll suss it out, see how it goes when we're there.
Cool. Good luck, Lakey.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Harrison Shed.
He doesn't even need me, folks.
Oh, no, it's all right.
Tara Glenn Harrison, ladies and gentlemen. Not a lot of people know your real name. Everyone calls you Tara. How'd you get the name?
No comment, yeah? No comment.
Everybody.
But, no, I used to have a girlfriend. She was about 37 kilos.
Bloody
and
hell.
I'm only a little lad.
You are.
And it's Terror from the Wanderers, if anybody knows that movie.
Oh,
so
I do.
And I used to shave my head, yeah. Not bald like
Really?
Grant is at the minute, but anyway, we won't
You
go
know
there.
why the Wanderers shaved what was it, the Baldies, wasn't it? They
That's
shaved
it.
their head so their hair didn't get in their eyes when they fought.
Yeah, it certainly is.
See, I do know that movie, mate. Tell us about, how did you end up here? You're a Harrison, clearly. Tell us about the family.
Harrison,
how does the family work?
Family, got involved, started, I just worked it out the other night. It was probably back in 86, probably before 86, about 85, I got into the sport, helping bullfed in the water. He was, at that stage, he was in the water. And
You're only about 13 at this stage.
Yeah, about 13.
Yeah.
I was just in the water, helping in the water, doing the chamois, fueling the boats. That was back when we had, I think Uncle Keith might have had Keith who I think it was at the stage.
Yes.
I was just, she'd kick her out the back. We can swear, can't we, Bisho?
Of course we can, mate. This is
Yeah,
YouTube.
so just out the back and just helping out, yeah. Grab this, do that, grab the trailer, do all the normal things like everybody does in the world. And went from there. Then the big day was at Lake Epoch with Uncle Keith driving the Rat, and I went, wow, look at these things, the big thunderboats and that at Epilock, and he come home with the number one.
Yeah.
Uncle Keith ended up...
That was 86,
86, and he ended up, as the start happened, they all went the wrong direction, and Uncle Keith turned and went, oh, there they are. They were all going to go the short course, and Uncle Keith went the long course, went around and ended up out in front and ended up winning the #1 Griffith Cup.
They couldn't catch him.
So, but I was still, part of the team, got the chamois. That's probably all I was doing in the water, pushing the boat on the trailer back in them days. But then started from then. Look at the spellbound.
Oh, it's incredible. So what do you do? What do you do day to day, other than shit stare everybody?
Day to day, I go on a lovely farm. We sow barley, wheat, oats, canola and all that. Probably put in about 2,000 acres, run about 1,000 sheep, just here in the Rockbank, Melton area. That keeps you pretty busy. And then Bullfed, I call him Bullfed, we come out in the boat shed and fiddle, yeah, like most boys and ladies do. You've got to be both sides these days.
You got Lake on the team, mate.
You got Lake.
So,
it's going to be great with Lake on the team. I've already been told Grant's not allowed to be on the radio, so that's a good thing for me. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully she has a go, enjoys it, and yeah, that's step one. See how she goes.
It's just another generation coming through.
Yeah,
You've got a pretty big job. I know you're the larrikin of the operation, and you're always giving me a hard time when I commentate, but you've got a pretty serious job. This thing's a serious piece of equipment. There's no mucking around here. This is world class. You're on the radio to Grant. What are we talking about when we're on the radio?
I've especially our number 10, the last one we just rang, it was like I was driving the boat.
Yeah.
I was telling him, canard up the back straight and then up the front, and yeah, just look after the gear. Trying to keep Grant calm.
Yep.
On the day, he can be a pain in the arse, to be honest.
Only on the day.
Yeah, all the time, but yeah. But when you're out there, and this one was a little bit different, Bisho. Yeah, he was nice to me, and I thought,
really?
I had a bit of a feeling.
Do you reckon that it's one of those things when you roll in? I mean, that weekend went perfectly for you guys, and nothing broke. I mean, you had a couple of little niggles, but nothing that you couldn't sort out. You just said it then? You had that feeling going into the weekend?
Yeah, just preparation with all the crew, checking things checking every bolt and nut 25 times. Everything just seemed, it's got to go your way sometimes, and we went to Sydney, tried our new prop and a few other race meetings. We tried some gear that we've been breaking, and everything just seemed to work well.
Yeah, well, you went to St George, didn't you? Which is not...
Yeah, with the new, we never tried the prop, and it went well.
Yeah. And that was a herring crop, Harrow was saying.
Yeah, that's our new one. Yeah, so it's the season will be here before we know about it. We've got to be ready to go.
Hard work, mate. You love it still?
Yeah, love it.
Still always find a reason to get up and go and do it?
Yep, always do. And like this year at the Griffith Cup, it's great that New Zealanders come over and put some real pressure on and made him have to earn it. That was even better.
Yeah, that was good. You know, it was probably a shame that the Kiwi boat had that failure. But I think Grant was actually talking about getting on the canard. Was it you that brought the boat back down that back straight?
I was saying it. He was probably telling me to shut up, but I was telling him. But yeah, he had to work for it, and it was good that he had to have a crack to get our number 10.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it was close. I rewatched the footage actually, and it was up there. It was definitely a moment for him. But he said to me he's having trouble with his mask as well, I think. And
yeah, that was in the Anzac one.
That was the Anzac the next day. Yeah. But pretty wild stuff, and in the end, bit of chaos at the start of that race too.
Yeah, I didn't know what. There was a bit of a mix-up there. Grant was talking to me. He goes, I've got to go on the inside here, and I just kept telling him the white flag was still up, so that's not, stop the race or something. But then it all come together, and then he come around the corner and basically said, up it.
Get going.
Down that back straight, my heart was pumping.
I was going to ask you that. It'd be pretty exciting, pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you just got to just go through the motions as you're doing it. Like, I always feel the wind, which way the wind's coming. Like, he went down the front straight. As he turned, like I said before, when he got to the spot, I was saying, because his memory bank is a bit slow up there, but I was saying to use your canard. In other words, hopefully he's listening. Wait on.
Thinking about not flying the boat too high.
So then when he come around that corner, the first corner, I went, wow, that's probably the best corner I've seen for a long time. And that's where he probably got his way with the race and can start a bit more controlling it. And then Ken was up it again. It was grouse around the next corner, and then I went, holy shit, here he comes again. So, but anyway, once we went around, you just had to look after the gear. But sometimes when you back off, it's worse for this stuff,
Yeah, well, they're tuned to be at a certain RPM, aren't they?
Yeah, so he still had to go, so, but once he was going around, when he come around that last corner and he was about 50, I thought, if she goes bang now, he's got enough memento. But anyway,
I'll swim out and push him.
But he ended up getting across the line and got it. Yeah, and I was very proud.
Mate. No, it's fantastic.
And Unc up there would be wrapped.
So Troy Kelly, they all call you Coco, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Coco, TK, mate, whatever.
Or other things that
we can't say on camera.
Can't say on camera. Yeah. No, mate. Well, tell us, how did you end up with this bunch of reprobates, please?
Well, believe it or not, I'm actually related to Grant's second cousin, and we moved from Warrnambool. I was working in Warrnambool, and we unfortunately, when Keith passed away, we were looking at coming back to move back up this way, and I had a bit of a talk with Grant, and he said, do you want to come and work for me? So and that's where I've ended up 3 years later.
Oh, it's fantastic, mate. I mean, you've got a great spot here. We can't ignore the elephant in the room. This is what you do on your weekends.
Yeah.
So you're a speedway racer. Tell us a bit about your category and what this car's all about.
Yeah, we run, this is a super rod. So we basically run, it's virtually a 360 sprint car with
I was going to say, it looks a lot like a sprint car.
Yeah. With a Fiat Topolino body. Guys run different bodies, but that's the body I chose. And yeah, I enjoy this. It's good fun, and I'm a dirt boy from way back, so I love doing it. It's it's good fun.
Well, you're a motor mechanic by trade.
Yes.
Did your apprenticeship at Ford, was it?
Yeah, I did my apprenticeship at Eclipse Ford in Ballarat.
Yeah.
And then worked at a few other places and in Geelong for a Prestige dealership. Then I went to the Ford Proving Ground for years.
That would have been fun.
It was, yeah.
Is that Yuyangs?
Yes.
Yeah, righto.
I was at the Yuyangs for 12 years or something it was, and that's sort of then ended up in Warrnambool with the boat racing. So.
Yep, so tell me about that. You hadn't had much to do with the boat racing beforehand?
No, I haven't had a lot to do with it. I'd been to see Grant a couple of times race, but every time I'd gone to see him, he was sitting on the bank broken. So.
Is that when you decided they needed a professional to come into this thing and help them? Or?
No, And
is
then,
out there with Ricky Howard.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's different.
And here comes GP1.
Yeah, I just hope I've brought some new principles or skills to the team, I hope. And yeah.
Well, I haven't heard any of them say a bad word about you yet, mate, which is unusual in this team. They're normally bagging each other out all the time, so you must be held in fairly high regard, I reckon.
That's good.
What sort of role have you adopted inside the team? Do you put engines together, or what's your speciality, I suppose?
Yeah, so I work for Grant full time, obviously, and we pretty much look after the boats during the week. Help with the engines, do whatever we can, where we can. Help out a little bit in the dealership, but mainly on the boats and doing bits and pieces for Grant. And, a lot of people think we just go and have fun or whatever, and it is fun, but I think for me, as a mechanic, sitting on the bank watching is probably worse than driving something, because I'm always thinking, when he sits in the boat and puts the helmet on, everything's out of our control.
Yep.
Have I done this? Have I done that?
Did I talk that bolt up?
Making sure everything going through my head. I don't sleep for 3 or 4 days before it. But,
oh dear.
I'm not happy until it's back on the trailer. And
Griffith Cup. We haven't spoken about that. Let's not wrap it up just yet.
Yeah.
10th Griffith Cup. I mean, you haven't been around for the previous 9, I suppose.
No.
But that must have been pretty exciting to be part of.
It is, yeah. And for these guys, for anyone to win 10 of anything in motorsport, I think is pretty exceptional. For the first 2, we had failures. The first 2 that I was involved in, we had failures, and thankfully they were failures that were out of our control. But like I said, the damage that those failures cause is big, and it's heartbreaking. Like last year, when the prop failed, the one before this one, we had a bit of an issue with an engine beforehand, and we worked, I think 2 weeks prior we went testing, and we had an engine issue, and we worked night and day to get that back together to go to the Griffith Cup. And then when something else fails, everything just sinks and drops. And
why am I doing this? Take you a couple of weeks to get over it.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard, and people don't see the time and the effort that people put in and the money, and we're at the top level, and the beauty of this Griffiths Cup was we were written off. I think a lot of the things you read on social media, and that was
the Kiwis are coming, and
they're going to blow us out of the weeds, and I'd sit here and I'd say to Terry in the workshop, I just want to fucking beat these guys. I just want to win. We've got to win. And because
you've got to have that in you, though. As a
crew, we want to win just as much as what Grant does.
Of course you do, yeah.
Because we don't want to deal with him when he comes back and there's something wrong.
Yeah, it's probably number one priority.
And B, for us, it's the work you put in, the effort, and when you get that reward, it's a good feeling.
Always nice to prove people wrong.
It is, and these guys are the best, at their game as well, and we proved that that boat is 15 odd years old or 20 odd years old.
Yeah, it's getting on a bit now.
And
don't look like it.
They rock up in all the new gear and everything, and it's just the satisfaction you get of beating someone else at the top of their game.
Yeah.
And then when we're written off, and it's a really good feeling.
Well, it's always easy to do an interview with my old co-commentator, Paul Cunningham. G'day, mate. Nice to see you.
Great to see you, Bisho. And I know, mate, every Gold Cup comes around, I love to work with you, and you think, I've got to work with PC again.
That is not true, mate. I love working with you. It's great knowledge, and that knowledge, mate, comes from your history in the sport. And a lot of people new to the sport probably come in and go, there's that guy that drives that 1.6 occasionally and is always covered in shit and working on GP1. But, mate, you've had a stellar career in Grand Prix hydroplanes. Take me back to the start. Where did it all come from with your dad, Con?
We started in about 1975. Con come down to the E.C Griffith Cup, actually, with some mates. And
Epilogue?
It was Epilogue. Yeah. And he was hooked day one.
Really?
So instead of going small, he went big. He just went and bought a cab over boat called Shamrock, put a injected 454 in it, and had Kel Thomas driving the boat. And that's where our history started. I grew up with it, similar to what Grant did, and just grew into it.
So how old were you when Dad bought the Shamrock?
I was only 4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah, so you were
very
the
young.
annoying little kid.
Yeah, very young.
And then when do you get to step into the boat? How does
I,
that all come
I
about?
didn't get to step straight into one of Dad's boats. I built my own, my 4.2 litre hydroplane, built by Evercraft, and it was Carlson designed. And I started racing the 4.2 class, and I was lucky enough to win, I think it was 4 Australian Championships in the Oz class back then. And then I...
Which I have to say was a really tough class, because there's a lot of boats in that category in those days.
A lot of boats. Yeah, I've run a fully enclosed capsule, Ron Jones capsule from the States we imported. Boat was really well balanced, it was really well built.
Yep.
It's over in New Zealand at the moment. And I was able to get a drive at Wiseman's Ferry in Shamrock for the first time.
Yeah, and what was that like?
It was good. It was it was my first run really in it. A lot quicker. We had engine issues that particular weekend, and Grant actually won the E.C Griffith Cup at Wiseman's Ferry.
That guy.
He went back to back.
Yeah.
That year. So I'm not sure what number that was for Grant, but it was a pretty proud day, and we celebrated pretty hard with him actually.
You weren't too worried about not winning?
No, I wasn't too fussed, mate. Wasn't too fussed.
It would have been interesting, you know, I mean, the technology, I mean, how raw and aggressive those supercharged engines are, like getting into that. What was that like, just the sheer power?
Oh, it's like everything else. It's a step up, and you go for something with 4.2 was pretty quick at the end of the straight. It was probably 120, 124 mile an hour at the end of the straight, but really slow out of the corners with these things you get into, and they're just on from the minute you go around the corner. So we never had a lot of horsepower, but we were sort of always running around the 1300, 1400 horsepower mark with our engine. So down a little bit. 2004 we brought in GP55 from the States, from the Brody family, and that went a bit quicker than the old Shamrock.
Was it a nicer boat to drive? I mean, the technology had moved on by the time you moved into that boat. I mean,
it was a lot easier to drive. Shamrock had some chops and changes when the two guys, Grant and David Toy, had the accident at Geelong, where both boats, one was repaired,
one up here,
hanging off the wall there. It was just a better balanced boat, all carbons and composites, and just really well designed.
So by this stage, you're the main driver?
Yes, I am.
Dad's happy for you to be the main driver?
Yeah, Mum wasn't.
Mum's not happy?
No.
It's normal?
Yeah.
And then, mate, you've won a Griffith Cup, you've won a World Championship. What rate's higher?
People ask me that. I say ask Brett Nidri and ask Grant Harrison as well, and Troy Marlin, who have also done it.
All done the same, yeah.
For us, I think the Griffith Cup.
Yeah.
It's just such a hard race to win. It is really, really difficult to win, and there's plenty of people that have turned up 20 years in a row and haven't won one. And you need a bit of luck on your day. And so I think that one was probably one, but World Championship as well over 2 weekends.
Yeah.
With the Kiwis out as well, some really great competition.
Yep.
I had to borrow an engine off the Harrisons to finish the weekend out.
Yeah.
Which was magnificent of them to help us out at that particular time.
Hardly surprising from those guys.
Not surprising at all, no. Yeah. So, Keith was always very generous. Not sure about Grant, but Keith. And always super generous. So, they lent us one of their engines. Not the ones out of GP 101.
No. Well, you're never going to give it a good one, mate.
It was good. It was still good. It was better than what we had.
Still won.
Yes, we did.
Happy days. So they probably, Grant would still be claiming that one because it was their engine, would he?
Yeah.
I'd imagine that'd be the case.
He's got the trophy.
Mate, these small ones, you've had a lot of fun in these. Probably more fun than you've had in the big boats, I reckon.
Oh, they're heaps of fun, and Grant had the 2 of them, and Grant was, I was lucky enough to drive the second one. And the 2 battles we used to have, people used to complain because nobody could tell us apart.
That was me, the commentator. I made you put stuff on the side of the cockpit.
Some of the officials couldn't either, which was good because it meant that I was competitive against Grant, and Grant was competitive against me, and he's a real competitive.
Outside now, Brad Holland starts to wind Twister up, and Dewey Nichols on a clean inside
and he'd be talking to you on the
radio.
radio.
Look at the run down the inside.
I was talking, and I go, shut up, mate, I need to concentrate because I'm not as good as you.
Well, maybe when he retires, we could be the 3 amigos in the commentary box, mate. We could probably nut that out, I reckon.
We could.
You and I might not get a word in edgeways, though.
I know, he loves it.
Well, that's awesome, mate. Tell us about this 10th Griffith Cup. Like, you've been knocking on the door, and especially probably the last 4 or 5 years, broken props and just stuff going wrong. And then, you know, Keithy then passed away. We want to try and win one for him. We don't get that one. And finally we crack it for number 10. It must have been pretty
it's just
special.
awesome. You know, it's, I know, so, you know, 9 people go, wow, that's just amazing. But just to really break through that 10th. And yes, there was a lot went wrong in the last couple of years, and so a lot of damage too. And Grant just keeps coming back and coming back and coming back. And, you know, I think the proudest thing about it was he was up against absolute world championship in Kenny Lupton.
Yep.
Mate, he's going so well in the States and Canada.
Yep.
He's done that many laps, and you know the two of them head to head in that final was just amazing to watch.
It was. Yeah.
When you know you've beat the best,
yes.
you know you're up there.
Yeah, and that was the one thing going into that weekend. I was like, we're going to find out how good GP1 is here, because we know that Lupton's been in the HRL. I think at the time he's leading the championship.
Absolutely. He won last year's.
Won last year's championship. Like that's the benchmark, that boat really. And then to get to see it up against the GP1 and then GP1 takes it out, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was that awesome. And I think that's why we're so proud, because Grant drove really, really well on the day. Kenny pushed him all the way.
Yeah.
And, you know, even from his, you know, we knew that we wanted lane 1, and, you know, Grant pushed pretty hard to get that in the heat. Didn't have to do that, but he got there. And yeah, we had a few niggles actually on early in the weekend, but overcame them through the crew chief and Coco and Morrow put it on the engines, and yeah, the actual race day was pretty smooth.
It was incredible actually, and the fact that you guys still bring the little boat along as well. You know, you're trying to win a Griffith Cup, you're putting everything into that thing, and then but no, we're going to just bring the little boat along as well and have a crack with that too.
It was good when we were running the 3 as well. You know, we're only a little crew, but we all know our jobs.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their jobs and nobody steps on each other's toes, and runs pretty smoothly from that point of view.
Everyone knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. It must be a good break for you from mortgage brokers. My nephew's a mortgage broker, so is my brother-in-law actually. You guys sit behind desks and on computers most of the time unless you're visiting people and drinking coffee with them. So to get your hands on the spanners and get in amongst it must be nice. Must be good therapy,
I'm not a mechanic as such, but just been around it since, you know, what are we coming up to? I'm old now, so, you know.
Well, you know, and it's
45 plus years, and
you learn.
You're just learning from it. So, yeah, I really enjoy it. Love getting away with the guys. You know, as you said, the banter and the fun, and we get away and have a good time, and we're professional, but we also enjoy ourselves.
You absolutely are, mate. Hey, it's always great to catch up, brother. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Bisho, mate. Cheers.
I'm looking forward to commentating with you somewhere soon.
Yes, I am too.
Go on your PC. Thanks, mate. Cheers, buddy.
Cool?
Very cool.
No Matt Hall, but from the rest of the boat! Congratulations, Roll. Fantastic stuff. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you to everybody that watched. Here it all comes into play when you're setting these boats up.